If you ever took the time out to type in underground hip hop,
Everybody gunning now, cops, everybody running now, huh?
Niggas would do it with a friendly hand, the American man. Yeah, what? Dear Hetty still man. Like a bitch that's high grade, but easy. No, I'm not wheezing. I'm not a weak.
Search underground hip hop on YouTube, depending on who's speaking, they only gonna be talking about Playboi Carti or Ned Spin or Nine Vicious. Maybe if I did a deeper search, then you'll see people talk about like Meg Hami or Roc Marciano or Curren. All of these artists, to some people, they feel like they don't even, like the people I just named at the end, and then the prior people like the Playboi Cartis and all of that, like people feel like these two brackets of people should not even be in the same genre of music, which is hip hop. We have spent so much time debating who is underground and who is not or whatever, that we haven't noticed that the definition of what underground hip hop means has drastically changed since the beginning of hip hop. There's a bigger reason why that is. As of right now, the underground is winning, but not necessarily because the rappers are becoming more popular. It's because the thing that they were supposed to be underneath, which is the mainstream, is disappearing. There's only about like 20 mainstream artists within hip hop that are like active mainstream artists. Obviously, it's more than that. For artists that continuously have radio play, or artists that are continuously on the Billboard Hot 100 for hip hop, on average, it's a little more, a little less, whatever, depending on the season and shit. But it's about 20 of these people. Back in the day, it used to be a much clearer line. You had your mainstream rap, and then you had everything else outside of that. Mainstream at radio, MTV, BET, 106 and Park, major label promotions throughout all of media, magazine covers, record store placements. There were a limited number of places where millions of people discovered music simultaneously. For the most part, everyone was being introduced to the same artist. And if you weren't getting that type of exposure, then that means you existed outside of the mainstream. You feel me? You were underground. Just to clarify even more, when I say underground, that does not mean a specific sound. And whoever one of you that's watching this, if you believe that underground is a sound, you are wrong. It was never a sound, and it's not currently a sound, so stop trying to make it a sound. Underground has always been about exposure. How much airplay are you getting on the radio? How much mainstream promotion are you getting? How big is your audience and your fan base? You know, that dictates the difference between a mainstream artist and an underground artist. Typically, the underground artist has a smaller fan base than the mainstream artist. The artist does not have to make an abstract or experimental sound to be underground. Like, that's not, you can make traditional hip hop music and still be underground. You feel me? Like, a lot of people keep trying to make it a niche, and it's like, y'all gotta chill with it. The underground rappers can make street rap, they can make boom bap, they can make drill music, whatever. It's simply about where they exist in terms of like the broader mainstream music industry. And I always understood that easily because I grew up in Philly. When I was younger, there were so many rappers that felt huge to me because they was huge in Philly, in Philadelphia. You had A.R. Ab, you had Joey Jihad, you had Reed Dollars, you had Quilly Mills, Sheik Raw, Meek Mill, and so many more. These names that you knew just from being outside, you feel me? Hearing people talk about these people, hearing raps, hearing freestyles, the DVDs was being passed around. The thing is, like,
I mean, you had all these artists in Philly, and back in the early 90s, I mean, that was a time when rap was selling a lot independently. There were a lot of independent distributors, so all these little local independent hip-hop labels and hip-hop artists were selling a lot of records. And so all the major labels started sniffing around saying, we need to get some of this hip-hop money. So they started signing all these artists, and before you know it, rap was booming. I mean, every artist who sounded half decent or even whack, I mean, they were getting deals because major labels were looking to capitalize on some of these underground hip-hop sales that these independents were putting out. So because of that, everybody kind of came out of the woodworks being a rapper. So in Philly, you had hundreds, I mean, literally hundreds of rappers who were sprouting up, but they didn't have a format, they didn't have a venue to get out there and showcase. So then the Rap Underground North comes along in a little garage and said, okay, all you rappers, here's your shot. Come showcase. Let everybody see what you got. Let the major labels see what you got. If you got records to promote, go ahead and perform. And if you're hot, people gonna buy your record, etc. And so it was
across the country. If you in like, I don't know, like Seattle, Washington, for example, you might not know who none of them people are. either current day or back when they first came out. You feel me? You might not know who none of them Philly rappers are. But that's the thing. It just goes to show that hip-hop always had these smaller ecosystems that were happening underneath the mainstream, which is, you know, underground. And honestly, I prefer it that way. Finding a new rapper or a new artist to listen to has always been like finding like hidden treasure. And I'm sure you can agree. There's always something that feels way more authentic from finding music on your own opposed to someone like directly putting you on to music. Because too often we are being told like, this is the artist you're supposed to care about right now. And it's like, no. Once the internet was the hub of where people find music, then that feeling truly became addicting. Finding those hidden treasures. Then you get into the mixtape era. We had DatPiff popping, obviously with some more mixtape based websites that existed as well. Now my go-to has always been DatPiff, rest in peace DatPiff. Then we had blogs and YouTube. Now suddenly where people lived at mattered a little less from getting new music. Because I don't know why, and I'm sorry Milwaukee, Wisconsin, if I have any viewers from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I love just like, I don't know, using it as a reference. Like, but if I was from like Milwaukee, and I know Milwaukee, I'm sure got their own rap scene. I'm ignorant to it. I'm sure they do. But if I was from like, if I was growing up in like Wisconsin and shit, like, I'm sure it was only but so many rappers that's even popping in the city or in that state because there's not a true music infrastructure there. You feel me? And I'm from Philly, so we are a major city, first major city in the country. Like, we're the most poor. You feel me? So we don't even have the infrastructure of, you know, like music for real. You feel me? Like, you still gotta go to New York for that shit. So if shit is like that here in Philly, I can only imagine how shit is over in Wisconsin. You feel me? From someone over there that gave them, the internet gave them more access to find new music compared to just focusing on, you know, word of mouth and local artists and stuff like that. Once DatPiff and YouTube came out and was popping, like, it really stopped mattering too much, like, if that artist was on the radio or not, you know? Shit, before I was even a teenager, when I was like a preteen, that shit stopped mattering, you know? Like, in terms of like, oh, they gotta be on the radio. No, it still definitely mattered, but we seen growth for like a lot of, like, when I was coming up, it was a lot of underground rappers that I saw not get any radio play to eventually they get like a major deal and then they got radio play. You feel me? Like someone like Meek Mill, for example. We go dive deeper into that type shit soon. Like, you can really go explore and find people. Like, I love that shit. I always loved music since a child because I had this painting right here since I was like 6 or 7. I always loved music, but once I had the ability to go on DatPiff and find mixtapes, bruh. During this era, we had Wiz Khalifa, we had Big Crit, Currency, J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Big Sean. All these people are new. Meek Mill, like, on the scene. They all just started putting out their mixtapes. They all, for the most part, have some type of independent deal, or they might low-key have a major deal, but it's a mixtape still. Kendrick Lamar, Mac Miller, Joey Badass, Chance the Rapper, Pro Era as a whole, Flatbush Zombie. Like, all these people are pushing mixtapes and they're all new artists. Different sounds, different cities, and different levels of success at that point too. But at that time, they were all benefiting from a music, basically, I guess you could say like a music discovery system that was, you know, outside the mainstream, and it was something new. Now, mixtapes, I knew what a mixtape was since I was like a baby. My mom always had like her music, you feel me, around, whether it was like music she was listening to or not. So she had a lot of old mixtapes. So I knew what a tape looked like. We had a tape recorder around, all of that. So once I was older, I mean, even at the time, like, I used to be selling CDs on LimeWire and downloading and burning CDs and selling them on LimeWire prior to like the mixtape era. So I would do that with mixtapes. I remember I did the Drought 3. Like, I was young as shit. And I'm selling that shit. I'm not even in middle school yet. I'm like, yo, here, 350. Put out the whole track list, all that shit, straight from LimeWire, right? My mom had got me like a whole bunch of disc of CDs from Staples and shit. Anyway, good old days, right? Later on, one of my friends had put me on to DatPiff.com. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like, and once he showed me DatPiff, I'm like, oh, so this is where you hear the mixtapes at? Like, I ain't know. So now, once he showed me like the website, I'm like, all right. So I just started getting on there all the time after that. So that's what made me really fall in love with music like way more, because I got to listen to, you know, Wiz Khalifa early on.
Okay. This ain't the life that we chose, but it's the life that we live.
I got to listen to Kendrick early on. Jay.
That my plan B is to win your hearts before I win a Grammy. My name is Kendrick Lamar. My words like a sword in the hands of a Spartan marching on Rosecrans and Compton. You can't cause conflict or corrupt my spirit. I'm on point like Pivot. I've been there and gone before you get near it. Ooh wee. That boy remind me of a young Martin Luther, the way he piece of troopers around them shooters like Malcolm X did. I stand for what I believe in. That's family, God, and honor. For Chicago, my daddy and my mama, they came to Compton to accomplish one thing: reign supreme, raise a king named Kendrick. I ain't lying, to stand for king, and I am one. My unborn son and grandson, William Royal. From the coochie to the soil, the meat shall inherit the earth. Well, I had this world since birth. Though the coochie is hunger, the Crips made strong, the Pyrus made stronger. Muscle in my heart, I stare in the eyes of Mozart and tell him I'm the genius. I do one Dougie and I grab my penis, cause I means this with all my soul, and you can't control greatness. That's you hating with the heart of Satan, but even that can't stop it. I tell a nigga, get out my wallet and put passion in your logic, passion in your life. The passion of my Christ is in me. If you say it ain't, you may offend me. Damn, that boy good. I'm bright as Thomas Edison, but I'm Gucci manhood. I stood alone for so long, prolonged my whole career, but now I'm here. You can shoot shots.
Early on, Big Curren, early on, like, I'm day one fans of all these guys because I was looking for the music, you feel me? And nobody put me on to none of them, you feel me? I would just be on DatPiff, and it'll be just the highlighted mixtapes, and I would just click it and be like, oh, who's this? Oh, this sounds wonderful. Like, they don't want to say that, but I'm like, you feel me? Like, it should be fire. And so I just became fans that way of everybody. Cushion Orange Juice is one of my favorite examples. Now, this wasn't the first Wiz tape that I had listened to. I had loved all of them, but you know, Cushion Orange Juice just hit different. It's like, oh my God. Like back then, like you really just watched Wiz build his whole brand and lifestyle and aesthetic through the internet. You did
Cushion Orange Juice, nigga.
He was named MTV's hottest breakthrough MCs of 2010. Please introduce yourself.
They call me one half of Cheech and Chong 2010. Young Khalifa.
Look at them face. Hit the pedal once, make the floor shake.
You didn't have to hear Black and Yellow first to know who Wiz Khalifa was. Like, I was already a fan for years prior to Black and Yellow even coming out. Black and Yellow was like his first radio hit. Nothing else was on the radio as far as I know. Like in Philly from Wiz. And he from Pittsburgh, which is like as far as shit. So if you're not from Pennsylvania, you feel like, oh, like Pittsburgh and Philly, that no, like they far as shit. Like, you feel me? Like how New York people in New York City look at like upstate New York, like that's how we look at them. Probably like a little worse. Cause I feel like at least, I don't know, I can't speak on niggas in New York, but yeah, they far as shit. Like Baltimore close to New York City, close to all these motherfucking places is way closer than Pittsburgh, okay? So that's a whole different, they got country accents in Pittsburgh, okay? I used to be a super big Wiz fan. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing about Wiz. Like, Wiz was my guy. Like, I really used to, I don't want to say look up to him, but I thought he was cool as shit when I was a kid. Like, I had 2 Wiz Khalifa shirts. Like, I had a Taylor Gang or Die t-shirt, and it was like black and yellow and shit. This got it from Hot Topic, and I remember I had got another shirt, another Wiz Khalifa t-shirt, and it was like a drawing of his face, and it was like a blue t-shirt. It was like a baby blue type t-shirt, and it said like hip hop thugster. I don't know why I said that weird shit, but I was like, yeah, that's my guy. Wiz influenced me to smoke weed. I ain't gonna lie, I had already wanted to smoke, but like he made that shit real cool. And I already thought Snoop Dogg was real cool. And I used to love Snoop Dogg when I was a kid too. When everybody, I remember asking my friends, like we used to be like, oh, who looks better, da-da-da. And I remember one time, I had asked them about like Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne. Everybody was like Lil Wayne. And I'm just like, no, Snoop Dogg looks better than Lil Wayne. They were just like, ew. And I'm like, you fucking tripping. Like, Snoop Dogg is that man. Like, what you mean? I was a bad kid. Like, I got this tattoo around that time. This tattoo when I was like 13. When I was 13. So I was one enough. So yeah. Anyway. But yeah, shout out to Wiz. And like Wiz was all tatted the fuck up. Like Wiz made me want to smoke weed and get tatted, and I was already on that, but he like made me, well, it wasn't him, obviously, it was like me, but I feel like he definitely played a huge role. And like, when I first started smoking, I started doing everything. I'll be quiet, y'all don't even know that much about me. Anyway, moving on, shout out to Wiz. Like Wiz and Meek, for real, was like the soundtrack to like me like jumping off the porch, I guess you could say. I always was off the porch, like I always been outside, but like really being outside, like yeah, around that time period. Like Wiz already had an audience for him once Black and Yellow was on the radio, you feel me? That's why I feel like all the us kids at the time like really went crazy over that. Like even a lot of like niggas in Philly, specifically niggas in West Philly. I'm not from West Philly, but like I remember it was a lot of West Philly niggas that would do that Wiz Khalifa page. Like I feel like if you don't know, if you young, right? If you younger than me or whatever, then you might not be aware. Around the time when Wiz dropped Black and Yellow, he had like a little curly top in his head, and he had like bleached a piece of it in the front, like blonde, like a little blonde patch. It was called like the Wiz Khalifa patch. So mad niggas was bleaching this little piece of their hair that color. And he was able to easily influence niggas like that at a young age because we was already listening to him for like a long time. So it's interesting to me that like Wiz Khalifa don't get no love for real no more. He been dropping consistently, and granted his music not as good as back then, but it's not bad. Most of it's not like, it's, you feel me? Like, I don't know. But anyway, shout out to Wiz, right? And he eventually got Grammys and shit. You feel me? Like, we seen his growth. He is an A-list celebrity now. You feel me? Living Hollywood Hills with Sebastian and all that, living good life. And for him, he was like one of the start of the mainstream coming after the audience is in place. All of these guys, Meek Mill, Crit, Crit kind of always stay underground, unfortunately. I guess because he's from where he's from, he says. Well, I don't want to say he says, but he used to allude to that a lot, right? But look at Kendrick Lamar. Like, Kendrick Lamar used to be an underground rapper. You feel me? We consider him underground. Even though, as far as I know, ever since like his first tape came out, like he was signed to DE. But just like Wiz Khalifa, he was signed to Roc Records. Both of these labels were indie labels. They independent labels. So eventually they got partnerships with, you know, a major label deal and all of that. Or that artist left that record deal and just got, you know, a real big advance, a real big budget deal or whatever. So when Kendrick dropped Section 8, like he already had, I forget the other tape prior. I should have looked it up. I forget. Whatever that joint was called, because he had a tape before Section 80 and then he had Section 80. And then, you know, the rest is history, right? Like Section 80 was something I discovered. You feel me? He wasn't the Kendrick Lamar we know today. I mean, he's still definitely saying Kendrick, but you know, he's mainstream. Kendrick gets pushed everywhere. Kendrick just ran up all the Grammys and shit. You feel me? Last year in 2025. It was.
I'm not good at talking about myself, but I express it through the music. It's an honor to be here. Tyler, the Clips, like these are my brothers to be in this category. What's up, Push, man? Malice, man. Every time I tell you this, hip-hop is gonna always be right here. We're gonna be in these suits, we're gonna be looking good.
So many people that genuinely did not know who Kendrick was, or who Schoolboy Q was, or J-Rock. Same with a lot of artists that eventually became enormous. And that's just what the old pipeline looked like, you feel me? Like, you started off locally, you built your audience through mixtapes, then the blogs picked you up, then the industry noticed, and the label got involved, and then came the radio. And then eventually you become a superstar. Underground was a temporary space, and it was treated like somewhere for you to graduate from. That's how the underground hip-hop world was utilized, as somewhere to graduate from. And most people did not stay there, but some did, which ain't nothing wrong with it. Success typically meant reaching the mainstream. That's what everybody low-key was aiming for back then, for sure. But there were some artists that was quietly showing like that's not even necessary. You don't necessarily have to graduate from anything. As we see, currency is one of the most important people within this topic.
First thing when I wake up, I say my prayers, then I blaze up.
The whole industry just kept changing around currency throughout his career. He just kept going. nothing was able to stop him, which I think is beautiful and very impressive. He kept dropping his mixtapes, his albums, his tours, his merchandise, kept collaborating, which all of that created a loyal fan base on top of his branding. You feel me? Like when you think of currency, you think of weed smoke, you think of good, sexy, old school cars. Cause when I was a kid, I wanted a Crown Vic real bad. That's all I wanted was a Crown Vic. I wanted to be a Crown Vic boy. I still love old ass cars. Like if I could be like currency and just have all these like nicer, and I don't even know cars like that. I can't name shit. Like you feel me? Like I know what certain shit is, but like I like what I like. I don't know the names of it though. Yeah, he didn't need to become like Drake to prove that his model worked. You feel me? And even Drake came out back then on the mixtape days, but I ain't want to talk about him because he's like, Drake is Drake, okay? But he still counts too because he was able to build up a fan base as well. I'm a day one fan of all of these people because they all came out around the same time and it was all highlighted mixtapes on DatPiff.com. And also artists like Freddie Gibbs helped maintain another lane of lyricism and traditional rap audiences. And like I know Freddie Gibbs was doing his thing at that time too. I wasn't really listening to Freddie Gibbs then. Like I heard his name before and I seen his face before, but like I wasn't truly, I ain't started listening to Freddie Gibbs till 2017. Okay? I ain't started listening to Freddie Gibbs till then. And as soon as I listened to him, and it was when that album dropped. Or that might have been 2018. The album when he's like Jesus on the cover. Whatever album that is, that was my shit. And then I had went back and I did hear, I knew a couple of songs from Pinata or whatever, but I didn't hear that when it first came out. I heard the joint where he was, you know, Jesus or whatever. And then I became like obsessed or whatever the fuck, right? I don't want to say obsessed, but you know, fan girl song. So at this point we see that the internet stopped being a place where rappers just showcase their music and the internet started to become where rap movements would be born. i.e. Chief Keef.
Better blow, boy, bang, cause we gon' blow, boy, bang, better duck, boy, get on the floor, boy, 600, boy, son, I'll rock the those, boy, D-Rose, boy, Mala bro, boy, he gon' blow, boy, bop, get you gone, boy, bop, y'all some little boy, fat nigga, ripping through Godzilla's back, nigga, how you been suck my dick, nigga, let her hit the.
You know, Chicago is a huge, perfect example of this. The internet just allowed us to watch what Chief Keef and the rest of his niggas from like Old Block was doing at that time. And they was teenagers. Even though the platforms continue to change, but Chief Keef was iconic because he was probably the first rapper to not have a big budget music video that was blatant. And he showcased it on some hood shit. Like a lot of niggas be like, oh, I'm from the hood, I'm from the trenches, da-da-da-da. But it wasn't like, they wouldn't show that. They would just show riches and luxurious shit that they just got or they only really had, but the niggas gave it to them for the video. You feel me? Like Chief Keef was raw. Chief Keef was relatable. That's why, for example, like everybody in Philly, like everybody started eating up. Pause. Chief Keef and like the rest of them niggas like Lud Foe and Tato and G Herbo, Lil Herb at the time and all them niggas. It was a movement because it just seemed authentic and shit. They wasn't putting on all this glitz and glam. You feel me? Like, it worked because of that. Obviously, some years later, then SoundCloud created their own ecosystem. And initially, a lot of people that like, you know, are hip-hop purists or traditional hip-hop lovers was not fucking with the SoundCloud era of rap at all. And still to this day, niggas ain't fucking with that. Which I completely understand, and I was kind of one of those people. You know, let me tell you this. It's a lot of people that we consider to be SoundCloud artists. Like, for example, Lil Yachty was a SoundCloud artist person. You know, when I first heard Lil Yachty, I wasn't too mad at him. At that time period, I was kind of open to whatever. I wasn't with everything, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I was open, right? And so, what was that song? Cold like Minnesota. Whatever, that shit came on, right? I remember that music video came out. And I was just like, okay, this is interesting, right? I didn't have no bad thought about it, but I saw that other people did, right? But I was just like, okay. And once, I don't know what happened. Something happened. He put out something else And I started realizing like, oh, they really trying to like make this nigga a star. Then I had an issue, right? So let me tell you, give you some insight on me, right? For example, when the song Stoner, hold it, I need some water. Now when the song Stoner came out by Young Thug, right? That was the first time I heard of Young Thug. I wasn't privy to his mixtapes prior to Stoner, nothing like that, you feel me? But when Stoner came out, I was fucking with the song Stoner. I'm like, oh, this on fire, I'm a stoner. I'm like, oh, I can relate, like, I'm a stoner bitch, like, you feel me? Like, so, I'm like, all right, cool. But then once I realized, like, oh, they wanted him to stay, and then I started realizing, like, oh, they trying to make this nigga, like, a star. I had an issue. I'm like, all right. Because to me, the bullshit songs was supposed to be, they were supposed to be one-hit wonders. You feel me? And then I started realizing because of social media and just the overall more media within the hip-hop spectrum, I started realizing like, oh, there's no such thing as a one-hit wonder anymore. They keeping these niggas around. Okay, I don't like that. They ruining hip-hop. Fuck these niggas. You feel me? And that's the type of time I used to be on.
I've never checked for that philosophy ever. There's always been a time when there was a nice who was nice. And the nicest dude got the respect and got the love. I don't care if you're talking about J. Cole, Jay, Nas, Biggie, Eminem, Redman, Method Man. There's always been a lyrical dude in the mix who people had to contend with.
But at some point, it was getting blocked.
Right.
Because I remember going to meetings.
How?
Show me. I can tell you right now.
Give me the era.
I can tell you right now. I had a meeting with Kawan Panther.
Salute.
When he was the head A&R of, it's not Columbia. Is it Columbia? I can't remember. Played in my shit. Looked at me and said, all you New York niggas is nice. What else you got? I'm like, it's nice though, but this is my real life. You know
What year
I mean?
was
like,
that?
This was 2003.
Man, you know they blocked this shit. We can't say this shit wasn't blocked. They did.
You can't say it wasn't blocked. Because it just stopped. At one point, it just stopped.
But
bro.
my point is there's always been somebody who got through. It's always 2003.
Besides Benny, Conway, Westside.
But they're the ones.
There was no new guys that emerged from New York.
But they're the
within
ones.
the past.
That's my point. They're
12, 15 years,
Especially
bro.
with they sound.
Okay.
Especially with they sound.
But they're the ones.
This shit used to be the lifeblood.
This is what I'm saying.
And due to them turning their back on it, abandoning the genre, that's what I feel like. It died. I'm saying it died.
It wasn't an abandonment. It was. Let me concede a point. They didn't abandon lyrical hip hop. They ushered it away because the masses were ready for more dumbed down material.
They was only ready for dumbed down material because they kept pushing it on us.
Well, that's the point. That's the reason
they did that.
Champ, that's my
Yo, that
entire
marketing
point.
shit is real,
It's
bro.
deeper
When they
than that,
shove
my
that
nigga.
shit, no freaky down your throat.
No freaky.
Putting all this marketing and advertising dollars and shit, my nigga. Come on.
Yeah, that's my
You
point.
can't go nowhere without hearing this shit.
But then there's
the
a deeper reason for it. If you like, I'm talking about what happened in the labels. But as far as outside of that, you know, the niggas was going good. Niggas was getting locked up, hit with the RICO. There was no money to push these niggas no more. The South had the bread. They was coming up here like, yo.
And once one label went in with it, they all chasing the shit. They all chasing the shit
Because
they see
they're
somebody
going
else
after
winning
what
with
works.
it. They going after what works, and that's how we gotta end up with a gang full of lils.
Yeah.
And me, like, I don't got no problem with the lils. I'm actually inspired off them niggas, because, like I said, I gotta rap 10 times better than these niggas that make 10 times less. I'm impressed about what the they do. You know what I mean? Like, what the I get it.
Yeah.
And you know, they feeding their families, and you know, their mom's good, their kids good, but it's like,
I don't care about that.
It's like, man, you can't forget about this shit. You cannot, because this is the lifeblood of this shit, man.
The code.
It was never about who was the nicest. It was never about who had the most money.
Never mind, y'all want to rap. I'm gonna get off the mic. All right. So I was like, I seen the press Always being bothered, never less. Keeping me out of prison and putting me to the test. They ask me what is happiness, you write it on a check. Or you feel it on the sweat when your dick is in the breast, And then I got one was like, rack credit and nap of a sack, nigga whose blizzardous raps bigger than men of a pack. Brim to the top of a gap, gripping and busting up whack. Niggas try to reply, nigga, what do you choose? Simply irrelevant. Cynical, evident, please. Wrestling evidence keys. Moving when definite soul goes for the president. Bleed red for the government tease. Residue soon in your kettle place. Right where your bezel lay. Cold blizzardly, ghost entity, gold digger. Call minity, yo friendly, cold swinging. Gas, give me your cash, couldn't be stashed feeling. Dove soldier, the coast rover, the gap. I forgot, I said some shit like that.
He just snapped. Shout out Harlem.
I used to do shit. I used to deadass do shit like that.
Exclusive.
Yo, but was it hard for you to learn to rap like that? Because I feel like a lot of dudes, like,
it's the easiest
they
thing.
learn how to rap technical as fuck in the beginning.
When you
right?
learn how the old heads used to do it,
right,
you only work from there. That's what niggas need to realize. You can't go from point A to point.
The table.
Sorry, I'm so sorry about this.
It's okay.
You can't go from point A to fucking point Z. That shit is stupid. Like you can't learn. You can't like niggas trying to rap like Keef. Niggas trying to rap like Uzi. Niggas trying to rap like Yachty. Niggas trying to rap like the new age shit. You feel me?
Right.
You can't start from there if you didn't start from that boom bap shit. Because literally every rapper does.
So you think it's better to learn how to rap technical or old school or whatever, and then be able to find your own
flow.
style?
Like I've seen niggas hit like retarded ass flows. Like I'll tell my homeboys, you feel me? Some of my homeboys can't fucking rap.
Right.
Literally. Some of my homeboys cannot fucking rap.
True facts.
Yeah, I try and tell them all the time, like, yo, this song is not good. Stop.
Yeah.
You feel me? But niggas got their own opinions, you feel me? Like, nigga, if you feel like you can strive for that shit and learn it eventually, then do that.
It's hard because everybody wants to rap.
Everybody wants to fucking rap,
Yeah. But see, that's interesting.
And I really used to judge people real harshly for liking certain shit. And only recently did Lil Yachty get back in my good graces. You feel me? Because they did everything by design. Like, for example, Lil Yachty came out back then with his red hair, his little beads and shit. He's just like, I don't know anything about hip hop. I'm just a suburban kid from Atlanta. My dad is a photographer in the industry. He takes pictures of Andre 3000. I'm here. I'm a misfit. I'm just like, who is this bitch ass nigga? No. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm like, who is this? Like, he is destroying rap music. Like, I'm really like on some shit. Like, I realized like around that time period, cause then he just kept ushering in more niggas, and it's like you making whatever type of music that you make is one thing, but then when you go on an interview and then you talk and then you want some stupid, real ignorant shit and you don't give a fuck and you don't even want to be called a rapper, now I got an issue. Now I'm like, what the fuck is you here for? You feel me? So I feel the energy of niggas. That's why I always emphasize, like, cause I listen to all types of music. You feel me? I listen to Lil Yachty now. Like, I don't necessarily listen to him heavy. Like, I'm not like, oh, I love, like, I'm not go to a Lil Yachty concert if it's just like a Lil Yachty concert. Like, no, I'm cool. Lil Yachty can rap now. A nigga been around for a minute now. Like, nigga grew on me. Nigga not going nowhere. You feel me? That's okay with me. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Lil Yachty's existence anymore. And he wasn't the only one. I understand. He was just a pawn. You feel me? Like, all them niggas that came out around that time were pawns for controversy at the end of the day. So, and they just was doing what they was told at the end of the day. You feel me? Like, they know what the fuck going on. Niggas is media trained to a degree. They be acting like, oh, niggas don't get artist development no more. Like, bullshit, bro. It's not how it used to be at all. But like, niggas, y'all gotta stop taking word. Like, y'all guys just stop believing people at the end of the day. Like, when niggas say whatever he say, and he in this industry, like, take shit with a grain of salt. Shit might be real, shit might not be real. You never know. You feel me? But that's how you stop getting so emotionally involved with shit. You feel me? Like, the niggas real like be mad at shit. Like, I'll be like, oh, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. When Designer came out, I hated Designer. Like, I had liked the song Panda. That was my shit. But then once I realized, like, they trying to, like, keep him here, and he's not just about to be a one-hit wonder. It's like, niggas real like don't disappear because you got Instagram. You feel me? So it's like, oh, all right. And then, you feel me? Like, I just was not fucking with shit at all. You would have thought I was like a 40-year-old man. How I used to be acting. Like, I would judge people harshly if they ain't know certain rappers that I was like, they ain't gonna know who Joey Badass is. I can't fuck with you. We can't be friends, cause that's crazy. The fuck? All you listen to is Chief Keef and Lil Herb all day. You don't know who Joey Badass is. You don't listen to B.O.B. And B.O.B. was even underground. I used to be listening to a lot of a lot of shit. Like, I was listening to like Mad 50 Cent and Cassidy in like 2013, and niggas was like, why? Like, niggas was trying to play me and shit, because I'm like, listening to Cassidy and 50 Cent in 2013. I'm like, bro, like, these niggas still hot. Fuck is you talking about? Like, Mayhem Music 3 all fucking day, nigga. Animal Ambition, nigga. Like, that was like really my shit. But the whole SoundCloud era, at the end of the day, like, as we see, the music was sounding different than your traditional rap music. The fashion was different. Niggas started getting a little more feminine with the dressing and shit, and more colorful and more, you know, eclectic. The production even changed, you feel me? They only got these hard slapping 808s a lot of times, or it was a lot of like video game sounding kitty type shit.
I don't want my cat, now niggas tall, and my big bad, and she breaking wall. Yo. Shot the top, I get bored too quick. Silly thought, want it bored too quick.
Out my jacket, I pull out that chopper, I let you have it. I'ma pull up on your block, my niggas sit on that walk.
Rap music is rhythmic American poetry, meaning it is poetry set to rhyme. Meaning, if you are familiar with the poetry that happens in coffee houses where people clap like this, and that's what you're thinking rap is, you're batshit crazy and wrong. That's not rap. Rap is the ability to rhyme words in cadence for a number of bars, or what you guys who really study poetry would call stanzas. The bars are set up to be 4 8s or 16s, and then you have a 4 or 8 bar hook. So, a cat in a hat held a bat, killed a rat, left and cleaned it up with a wet vac. Would be a rap, because you're rhyming every last word, some words in between, but that's 4 lines. So essentially, 4 lines equals 2 bars. So a cat in a hat hit a rat with a bat would be 2 lines, but that would be 1 bar. Your goal is to get that up to 4 or 8 bars, or if you're really good at it, 16. So a cat in a hat hit a rat with a bat, the rat went splat, he killed it up with a vet vac. You now have 4 lines, that equals 2 bars. Try that every day. Get in touch and all in your feelings about girls and stuff like that, and you can be the next Drake. That's how you write a rap song. I'm Killer Mike. You've been watching Adult Swim.
SoundCloud, that made the rules change for hip-hop entirely. You feel me? That whole era of rappers. But the audience was real. Like, niggas was fucking with it, because it was like a new wave of kids that was kind of like already prepped for this shit. And for whatever reason, like, niggas knew that like the older generation wasn't really putting the kids on this shit. And the kids go like, you gotta keep in mind too, like, majority of mainstream acts and majority of people that get pushed on us, and we adults, so we like, you know, we feel like it's being pushed on us. No, it's for the kids. Like, think about it, like Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, like, yeah, they might have had adult content, but at the end of the day, they were for the kids, man. Like, Moment for Life, like Drake and Nicki, like, that's a classic song, right? But it's definitely kiddie like you're not about to be, you know, a 4-year-old woman looking at that music video and she was like a princess in a castle or some shit. I don't know, something like that was going on. Like, you feel me? Like, that's not for you. You feel me? That was for the kids. That was for us. Outside of the SoundCloud rap era, somebody else that I forgot to mention earlier.
Automatic weapon, need an order of protection, killer feeling on these records, so my charges is molesting and assault with deadly weapons, got these rappers feeling threatened, ain't a hip-hop veteran, I'm a hip-hop felon. I need a crib by the mountains, chest look house lit, limbs get frostbit, brand new outfits, if you less fortunate, you really ain't about shit, so much cribs, a nigga friends got a house sit, so much money can't weigh it by the ounce shit, weigh it by the pound shit, too much to count shit, paparazzi taking pictures, newspaper topics, magazine gossips, villa in the tropics, rock star pop shit made by toxic, inside hot pink, outside gothic, rag top roof made of fishnet stockings, black candy paint look fingernail polish, no one in this sight has swag like I do, church with this verse, I'ma hit him with the gospel, hit him with the rifle, I'm higher than the Eiffel Tower, hustle hard in snow sleep showers, age worried about who's hot and who's hotter, like crabs in the barrel, trying to pull you to the bottom. You get him, I got him. Point him out, I spot him. Red dot him, I shot him, I hide him. You find him. Go to the club and I order gold bottles. Shorty get low, but I'm no flow rider. And this 6'4" smokes like a low rider. The coupe so special, you can call it Movada. But I'm a known rider, and I'm a provider. Black on black, bent fire like the Ghost Rider. Don't need a Ghost Rider, because my flow's tighter. Your career's nosediving, I'ma pull a all-nighter. So hood rich, Hollywood bitch want me. Don't look hood, but a hood bitch love me. Hood niggas hate, Hollywood niggas hate me. Probably why I never keep the burner off safety. You should never try to play me. On a scale of 1 to 10, sick is what they rate me. No homo, but these labels wanna rate me.
Now, A$AP Rocky, one of the few people from Jump that understood the aesthetics to give off through the internet. Then Playboi Carti eventually was under A$AP's wing for some time, and he became enormously, you know, influential to the next generation. You had artists, now A$AP Rocky, one of the few people from Jump that understood that whose careers materialized directly from the internet. Like, everybody I'm talking about career came from the internet, but like, you know, just in a different facet, because we talk about the different facets of underground rap, you feel me? And all of this shit is on the internet, you feel me? It's the only way you can find it is on the internet. But that's why so many people, like the average consumer, they never knew none of this shit. Like the average consumer that's like my age, for example, and they not into music like at all. They might think they already might be like, oh, I love music, da-da-da, but they don't. To me, everybody loves music. You feel me? Music is music. So when you hear somebody make that statement, you gotta take that shit with a grain of salt, because niggas, you would hear something like that, and then someone like me, like, I really love music. You feel me? Like, I got all this Kanye shit over here. I got Tierra Whack shit over here. I got more Kanye shit, but this is distorted. She an artist from Philly, but she's a hip hop artist. Like, she made an MF Doom music video. You feel me? Like, I really live this, like, this rap shit for real. Like, I love hip hop. XXXTentacion is one of the clearest examples of this. Just like,
and bitches be mad, get on my dick. Hey.
And if the world ever has an apocalypse, I will kill all of you fuckers. Fear will be plentiful, death will be bountiful. I will spare none of you peasants. Fuck your religion, your pastor fuck kids and got sent to a prison in PC. I seen the devil, he's in you, women, you need saving and listen to this, see. Follow him home, cut the right corner so nobody sees you. Turn off your phone, leave it at home so nobody can trace you. Mask your expressions, appear to be calm, they won't read your intentions. As soon as you're in, let them all know who they're all in the presence of. I am a murderer, I am a demon, the son of a serpent.
Like that major influence. And like, just a quick side note, like with Playboi Carti, yo, peep in the video, that freshman list that X was on, when they was doing their freestyle ciphers and shit, everybody was rapping on the beat, and then X came and he did his freestyle. He was 10 times more lyrical than all them other niggas up there, including Carti, right? But it was a time, and at that time, X started getting on some gothic shit. Prior to that like, I don't know, that moment or whatever, you know, sonically, he was always on some gothic shit, but then he really started, you know, dressing real dark, and then he dyed his hair half platinum and half jet black and shit, like, you know, some gothic shit, right? And part of that, like, he was just a regular nigga just like the rest of them. And during that same time period, when X did get on that, Playboi Carti was still on some regular, you know, cool guy shit or whatever. But then, like, it seemed like once X died, not even once he died, but like, as far as I'm concerned, he got like his whole dark aesthetic and all that type shit from XXXTentacion. And I realized that when rewatching that video of their cypher and shit. And I had hated that cypher, but I had loved X at the time. I was a fan of everybody here. I was a fan of Made in Tokyo. I was a fan of Ugly God. I was a fan of Playboi Carti. And a fan of X. I was the biggest fan of X out of all of them. Like, all the other ones, like, they just had a couple songs that I want to say, like, I was a true fan. But when they did that little cypher shit, I'm just like, yo, like, niggas can't rap. Like, the fuck going on? You feel me? But I know for sure, like, I'm older and I paid attention to niggas more since then and all that. Can't speak for Ugly God. But I know Carti can actually rap. You feel me? He was used to actually rap prior to that, but he just, you know, started following the trend like a lot of these niggas was, and just being on some da-da-da-da-da-da, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da, hey, da-da-da-da-da, hey. Like, that shit's ass. Like, but niggas know that now. Niggas knew that then, but it was a reason why they needed that to take place. So with X, When you look at how he got on SoundCloud, then that transferred over to overall internet buzz. Then he had his No Jumper interviews as well. Then XXL. And then after he got on XXL, now he hitting Billboard charts. At this point, now we got an institution from the older hip-hop media structure that basically went about documenting artists who that essentially was just being chosen by the internet. At that point, then we started to see that current old media, hip-hop media structure crack. At that point, they started making it seem like in the media, all the alleged gatekeepers that we see, they start losing their ability because a lot of them, the new young niggas is making all of this heavy 808, heavy production, heavy sound. And the issue is, right, I just want to say something else, right? Another issue, another layer why that whole SoundCloud era of rap music was so controversial is simply because, like, we never publicly gave enough credit to the producers that was making these sounds. The rapper at that time was not saying shit. They know that. Lil Yachty know the difference between him really rapping and him doing that shit he was doing. Made in Tokyo knows the difference of him really rapping and him doing that shit that he was doing. You feel me? All of these niggas are capable of it. It was the sound that industry wanted. Playboi Carti knows the difference. You feel me? They knew what they were doing. The public wasn't made aware of the producers all crazy that was creating that whole sound. At that point in time, like, it's like the mainstream media, once they did start letting certain people like X or Lil Yachty or Lil Uzi or Playboi Carti through the door through like a mainstream lens, then they're kind of like, oh, well, welcome, hi, we know who you are. You feel me? I posted them introducing them straight off. You feel me? Because these niggas was underground for a while in a certain regard, and now they're all like mainstream acts. And so because the internet kind of decided what was happening with music opposed to the already mainstream platforms, now the entire relationship between basically, I guess you could say, like the mainstream world and the underground world, now that start breaking. You feel me? Now it's like, hold up, now niggas getting confused. While all of that shit is going on with the new wave of niggas like Yachty, Uzi, X, Lil Peep, Lil Smoke Perp, Lil whoever. Yeah, Kodak Black came out. He part of that SoundCloud era rap niggas too. But while all of that was going on, there was still a traditional underground rap side going on. You had Action Bronson, you had, like I mentioned earlier, Joey Badass, you had MF Doom, you had Kyle, you had Roc Marciano. These are different generations of artists that were still continuing to make music that was like either deeply lyrical, unconventional in some regard, like deliberately non-mainstream rap compared to like what was playing on the radio and shit. Everything on the radio was a lot of heavy trap beats, you feel me? During this time frame. If you like looking for the traditional underground rap, you could find it and you gain a whole different sound that you know they wouldn't like allow on the radio for whatever reasons. While one side of the internet was moving towards SoundCloud, rage, and like melodic rap, just overall completely new aesthetics, there was the other underground just moving in the opposite direction. So like that's where Roc Marciano becomes like pretty important.
Me and all my affiliates, we lit Phillies like idiots. Killer lineage, let them know what it really is. Niggas is penniless with skinny ribs. I fire semis in too many wigs. I'm feeling like Billy the Kid, skinny big. You literally live as a guinea pig. If the Timbs ain't on deck, you know the pennies is. Your fingers, they never been sweet. Even though we in the penthouse suite. These niggas ain't bout it, the game crowded like Canal Street. Might need the street sweep.
Because you got dense writing, you got minimum production. You still got the street imagery, but now you got like an East Coast grit, but luxury. Obscure samples, now if you with it, you can buy it too. You can physically buy vinyl or CD from him, you feel me? Whereas a lot of people was just doing SoundCloud. And then Griselda happened.
These clown niggas basic, pass the cops in the drop top down nigga chasers. Mama in my face, you wanna see our splendor. On the cover of CDs, yeah, she see our emblem. Many niggas start the problem, see I end them. Me, I listen, that's what got me my position. I can teach you.
Conway, the illest, the pistol here. On any track, the Mac tech is near. 32 shots and make your Lexus veer. The BBS is in my neck and ears. The Jets is clear. The neck
nigga, get out of line. I can't wait to smoke a nigga. All this Girl Scout smoking, nigga. This shit's potent, nigga. Cooking straight from Oakland, nigga.
And I was his manager at the time. So I was already building relationships with labels, because that was my actual job. It wasn't to rap. I was on the corporate side.
Right.
So I already knew, and I had ties with a lot of people. And once that happened to him, I'm like, yo, I always could rap, but I'm not about to do what everybody else doing. Let me just do what I can do, and I'm about to, because I know I'm nice. Let me just show motherfuckers we could take it back to what we respected and loved. And that was just like my focus, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really wanted to prove a point, because everybody that was around me only wanted to spit on that down south shit. And there was nothing wrong with that, because we was popping bottles and dancing to the strippers and shit like that too. But it was just like, you know what, I want to take it back to where it was where you respected and idolized the nigga. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. I remember growing up, it was the Raekwons, the Nas's, the Ghostfaces, the Cool G's, the Nas's, the AZ's, you know what I'm saying? Just people like that was like, yo, these niggas is dope. You look at them, how they dress, what sneakers they had on, what kind of gold chain they had on, what kind of fucking shit they had on in a video. Like, Motherless Child and songs like that was our single.
Damn, 3 in the cell, my celly praying for bills. They want me to snitch, they offering me deals. I told them suck my dick, I'm so ill. Legend saying I'm the next one. Whip a new batch, gator work a test run. Fiends out of space.
Griselda, you could say, made traditional rap that was underground be cool again. You feel me? Westside Gun, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher. I started listening to Griselda in top of 2018 is when I first heard Griselda for the first time. I first heard Westside Gun. When I first heard of anybody from Griselda, the first person was Westside Gun. It was the Mr. T music video. That had came out 2 years prior. I was just, hearing it at the top of 2018. You feel me? So I listened to like the tape, all that type shit. I became a fan. Then when I first heard Westside Gun, I don't remember my initial impression. I was put on to Westside Gun. You feel me? My man had put me on to him. And I just remember thinking, like, he sounded like Troy Ave. Like, and I fucked with it, because I was listening to Troy Ave. Like, I fucked with Troy Ave. Like, a lot of people wasn't fucking with him. I was fucking with him. Shout out Troy Ave. Because they both kind of got that light, like, New York type voice and shit. Like, they got similar voice. They don't sound the same at all, but they similar. You feel me? So he reminded me of him. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. I fuck with the beats. I like his lyricism and shit. Like, what the fuck he talking about? Like, I fuck with everything. I'm like, oh, he from Buffalo? And then I start listening to Conway. And then the first time I saw Conway was with the Air Hose video and shit featuring Westside Gun. I don't recall what the first Benny song was that I heard, but it was all like the same like time, you feel me? Like, it was like maybe like months apart from each other when I was like listening to everybody for like the first time and shit. But to keep it a buck with you, Westside Gun and just Griselda as a whole, they the ones that like put me on to Roc Marciano. I didn't know who Roc Marciano was before Westside Gun. The only people that was in this like traditional rap space to me that was keeping shit alive for me personally was mainly Action Bronson. I used to listen to Action Bronson heavy. And I know Mayhem Lauren, like his mans and shit, like I never got into listening to him directly for whatever reason. I just didn't. But I always fucked with his verses and whatever. I would start listening to them and I was like, oh my God, this is what I needed, because I wasn't looking for music necessarily. At that time I was listening to like, who was I listening to then? I don't know. I was listening to a lot of West Coast rappers and shit. And like I was listening to like Kamaya and who else was I listening to? I was listening to like Boogie, like from LA, Westside Boogie. Who else was I listening to at that time? Kodak, like Action Bronson, Joey Badass, Mick Jenkins, like No Name. Like, I don't know, I was listening to a lot of shit. I was listening to a lot of old shit too. Like I always I used to be listening around that time period. I was listening to like Mad, like the Purple tape, like heavy around that time. Like Cameron's joint that came out like, I don't know, early 2000s, whatever. I had an urge for, you feel me, their sound. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Cause like I said, the main nigga that I was listening to heavy, that was doing that sound was Action Bronson. Oh yeah, Earl Sweatshirt too. But yeah, they came out. I was pleased, and because I started listening to them, and I was like obsessed, like now my algorithms on like, cause I usually go to Spotify all crazy. Now everything changing. So now, because I'm listening to them and I'm going back and to listen to their older music too, because they was already dropping a couple projects for the past couple years prior to me getting onto them. So I was like 2 years late. Then I found Roc Marciano through Roc Marciano. Then I found who I found? Oh yeah, Ka. And then outside of them, like because I'm watching certain platforms like Sun Tzu on YouTube now I'm starting like, now I know how to like find the niggas I want to hear. And I started listening to Uncle John, so I found him on there or whatever. And yeah, then I started listening to, oh yeah, I was listening to Dark Low already. Him Heavy again, around like 2018 or whatever. Like I just started listening to like the world of like the traditional rap that I always loved had came back. Cause I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but when everybody, like when Chief Keef first came out and shit, like I had fucked with Chief Keef or whatever, but I ain't like dive into like the whole Chicago wave like how a lot of people around me did. I was trying to like low-key get away from like all the hood shit and like listen to more shit. Cause I was like, you feel me? Like everybody know that if they like really from the hood and like they smart, anybody that's a little smart that's like really from the hood, they go through some type of like phase where they kind of like, yo, I got like, cause if they like, if you really like, if niggas like that you know getting killed, niggas just doing, niggas getting booked and shit, like you kind of like, dang, like, like I got, you feel me? Let me open my mind up a little bit, you feel me? Around that time period, I was listening to a lot of Big Crit, a lot of Currency. I mean, I was always listening to Currency, but like real heavy, like around like, I don't know, anywhere between, like everywhere between like 2012 to like 2014. Like Migos came out, and of course like Drake and like Kevin Gates, Cassidy, AR Abs, was that, yeah, 50 Cent, I Am Sue. Like I mean, I'm always listening to a lot of people. Like I'm a music lover, so I'm not just about to find like one artist and like obsess over them. Like I mean, yeah, in moments and shit like that. But you feel me? I'm always listening to multiple shit every day. Like when certain albums come out that I like yeah, I'm listening to that heavy. We had Kendrick and shit. Well, Kendrick was before. I mean, I was, I was definitely listening to Kendrick. Anyway, but point is, they filled in the hole that I wanted, because my foundation is traditional rap. Like I love early 2000s rap. Like, you feel me? And 90s rap. Like when Joey Badass came out, a lot of people wasn't fucking with him. They like, oh, he sound dated, he sound 90s and shit. Like he a little, I'm not into that. Like I was like, yo, this nigga is the GOAT. Like yeah, he bringing hip hop back. Like you feel me? Like I was that young boy. Like so, like I said, I had this shit since I was like 6. So that shit always been on like the forefront of my mind. Like I hear the difference. Like I remember when Atlanta, and not even Atlanta in particular, but I remember being a kid and the South started taking over. I seen a lot of adults that had loved hip hop fall out of love with hip hop when that happened. Just keeping it a buck. We love T.I. up in Philly and Jeezy, but when T.I. and Jeezy first came out, there was a lot of one-hit wonders that was like making like dance music and like party songs and shit that was from down south. And some of them wasn't one-hit wonders, but you feel me, they got a southern flair and it's just on some, you feel me, shake your ass in the club type shit. And when that was like predominant on like Philly radio, East Coast radio, that's on 100.3 and like Power 99, like it started making hip hop feel a little different. You feel me? And I remember seeing the music videos at like my cousin's houses and shit of like, you feel me? Like all that type shit. And you know, it's like some St. Louis shit in here, like, do your chain hang low? And then like T-Pain, I had love T-Pain and shit. But you feel me? Like once that whole era became a thing, like I seen both my parents, like more so my mom than my dad, like kind of, you feel me, like fall back from the hip hop shit. Like they wasn't fucking with that dirty South like club banger shit. Like they wasn't fucking with that. Like we real East Coast babies up here. Like my man got East Coast tatted across his neck. And once I found Griselda in 2018, they really did open up a whole new world for me of rappers. Like, and prior to them, I was already listening to MF Doom and shit. Like, MF Doom probably like the only one that was like, you feel me, like this nostalgic. Oh yeah, I was listening to UGK. Like, I love UGK, like Pimp C and Bun B. Like, I fuck with them heavy. I used to be listening to a lot of Outkast at that time too, like old shit, like old Outkast. Like, I would be going back listening to their shit from the 90s or whatever, like ATLiens or like, or even what's it called, Southern, whatever that long ass title is. Like that album and shit, that's from the early 2000s. But at that time period, before they came out, that's what I was on. Like, I was on a lot of shit, but like, you feel me? That's the shit that was kind of filling in the gap for me. And I was listening to a lot of Big Crit too. Because Westside Gun, you know, created Griselda, and I was paying attention to it heavily. And I was paying attention to what Conway was doing, what Benny was doing and shit, because I was like instant fans or whatever. Like, now they signing all these other niggas like Rome Streets or like Flame Stop Malik or El Camino or whatever, and like I'm fans of all of them. Like, so they just been keeping my attention. So predominantly, not necessarily Conway, Benny, and Wes, like, but everyone that they kind of produced and everyone that they gave credit to in the past, like, and I started going back listening, you know, to Kai and Roc Marciano and all of that, and learning about their story because I wasn't aware of it or whatever. About Sean Price or like Killer Priest or whatever, but I wouldn't like heavily listen to them. But then I started heavily listening to them around this time period because I'm like, yo, this is what I've been missing. You feel me? Like, so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I gotta catch up. All these niggas older than me though. So it's like, I understand, like, it wasn't catered for me. You feel me? Initially, like, because I'm kind of a rare breed. Like, I understand it, and that's cool. Like, so any woman that was like me that was existing, that is existing, like, I'm sure everybody feel the same way. I mean, niggas talk about it online all the time. Like, Griselda did put that excitement and that foot under niggas' necks that niggas needed. And not even just these rappers as a whole, but the producers that they work with. And some of them are self-produced, like Roc. Like, they really created their own worlds, like mainly West, because to me, from my perspective, all of this stemmed from Westside Gun, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, he the one that created the label, even though I know Conway was the original rapper first and then West started rapping later on. Like, at the end of the day, he is the curator of what they got going on to this point. And obviously, you feel me, everybody started doing their own thing, getting money on their own, but they still family, whatever.
And we do our thing, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm from a team, man, SC Gang. You know, we started as young boys, man. Shit transferred to Griselda. That's what we do now, GXFI. You know what I'm saying? That's the movement, man. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. You know, nobody from our city, man. You know what I'm saying? People look at us like, it be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Because people hear Buffalo and then they say New York, then be like, oh, we country, you know what I mean, we got cows and chickens and shit, but you know, it's not funny because every
we're
day
ignorant to that.
No,
you got a football
team. No, I understand that, but you can't say that
like,
because,
we're city
you know,
folk, so we're a little ignorant to that. So when we think of country things, like, because we're like, what? We think of immediately we think of like farm stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, they say that shit, but at the end of the day, if you look at the statistics, like, Buffalo is the second largest city in the country.
That's true.
People don't understand that. We've been in the top 10, you know what I'm saying, dangerous cities in the country. That's on Forbes list. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we not making this shit up. Like, this is facts. So, you know, coming where we from, people don't recognize that, but we always been around the dangerous, grimiest shit you can think of. And in the poorest conditions that you can think of. People just don't understand that. So you could call this country and all of that, but at the end of the day, we losing people that we know every day. So it's nothing country about that. Like, I got a house in the country in Alabama, and it's fucking country. You know what I'm saying? We can do what we want to do out there.
He knew how to brand himself in a way that created a world for them. And then they're from Buffalo, so it's a new energy. It's not just New York City. And I feel like a lot of people ain't really fuck with New York in a lot of different ways because they always been like, you know, the so-called creators of hip-hop, you feel me? So, you feel me? And New York City is New York City. Like, New Yorkers, like, you know, pridefully love their city, which they should. Shout out to y'all, love Philly, as I should. Like, that's where I'm from. It came after, like, the Midwest craze, so niggas kind of got a taste of, like, oh, alright, like we got, cause we had some hits from back in the day from niggas from the Midwest, and then we had Nelly. And then we got Nelly and Chingy from, you know, St. Louis and shit, and we got Eminem, of course, from Detroit, and that helped too because they was signed to Eminem at a point, you feel me? So he from over there, they from where they from, they got like Midwest type energy and shit, you feel me? So the public was kind of like ready to accept them, and we were hungry for their sound as well. We didn't even know it. They had the artwork, they got the fashion, got limited merchandise that's like exclusive, and it actually really looked good, you feel me? Blind Tell look fire. I still ain't grabbed no, it's been a couple times I tried to grab a hoodie and I missed the drop and it sold out like instantly. And like I really wanted like the joint I want the most out of all of them. And I still want this joint too. Like it's the Elizabeth Taylor joint from Armani Caesar, the Liz, but it's like it's one of them iced out joints. And I think like, do I want the tie-dye one? It was like a tie-dye joint. I think that's the joint that was iced out. But like, yeah, I'm like, like I need that joint. It's beautiful. Then they had their vinyls, and then they started making it cool. And a lot of boom bap rappers was already doing this, like using like TuneCore and different things for people to actually physically buy their music, and people were. And then they was going to their shows. Like they really had an advantage being from Buffalo. You feel me? Like I know it took niggas a minute, cause niggas been doing this shit for a minute. You feel me? But it was worth it. The thing is, when it comes to the media likes prepping people. You feel me? So before they just give it to you raw, they just gonna keep giving you like little bites of everything over the years before they just give it to you raw. You feel me? Even though the public can handle it, but it's like they want to focus on certain things. Like it's so much shit going on in the media. Feel me? So they knew in terms of like marketing, shit gotta go on a certain type of way first. You feel me? So like I said, they prepped us with the Midwest shit. All the Detroit niggas and the Chicago niggas, and then they give us the Buffalo niggas, and the Buffalo niggas help open up a bigger world for the rest of the New York niggas and elsewhere. Oh yeah, another person I've been listening to that been holding like the boom bap shit down, like J.I.D. And then Westside Gunn also with his world too, like all the wrestling references he had and depictions that he showed, and now him and Smoke Dizza got their own wrestling company. Like that's beautiful. Like shout out to Fourth Rope. Like I gotta go to one of the events. I missed the last one in Philly. And this is like where we arrive at like the problem that we're currently having. When someone says underground rap in 2026, what are they talking about? You feel me? They might be talking about Maddox, Skrilla, Mike, Dark Low, BK the Ruler, Uncle John, Osama's son, Shay Noir. Like it could be talking about all of these people are considered, you know, underground.
Fuck slaving for a low wage. I'd rather blow my brains. I need another way to get my dough straight. A drug dealer was my soulmate. Road to riches flipping birds. I always knew he had road rage. I don't care if these hoes hate. The day I let you bitches get to me, Satan gon' feel a cold day. I recoup 2 years ago. Like nigga, the fuck is you saying? If you wanna race me up to the top, then bitch, put a JK on. Me and my girl just got pierced today. I cry like a bitch, I admit it. Recording myself, I wrote it myself. I like it, so I'ma submit it. Oh, I just leave.
How you turn victim? Vindicated cause I stand at the serve, nigga. If you shake it, you should scram, go to church, nigga. I know that for every man, but I flirt with it. I'm just talking to the man.
Other niggas like Suge Knight. Coming up, all we want a good life. Good money, good wife. The universe ain't agree. County jail, they don't call me low. I'm usually OG in it.
I ain't talking about no ride. Getting to that guala. Stacking up them commas. You ain't talking about no dollars. You can keep your mouth shut. We don't wanna hear nothing.
TTG, TTK, I ain't locked in, but I can send. I call Doggy, he gon' pull up 9 times out of 10 to bend. I call Toddy, that's my brother. File, that is not my friend. 340 Orty, I decant. Free all I run up, I depend. We done shit our blood together, made an oath and never end. Initiation, graduation, Baba Lau, congratulations. I done really came from rock straight to a dime, it took some patience.
What do these people have in common? They don't got nothing in common. Maybe some. Sonically, a lot of these artists aren't even remotely alike at all. Audiences can be different. The aesthetics are different. The influences are definitely different. And their ideas of what hip-hop should or could sound like are different. Yeah, with all of that, you still hear all of them described as underground. So obviously, it's a big umbrella. I don't know why I did that. I'm so corny. I be doing man corny shit. I gotta stop. And outside of it just being an umbrella, it's really a position. So you got your traditional lyrical underground rap. Then there's like the internet underground, which I like. That's like for the kids, like the Yeats and the, I don't want to say the kid. I mean, that's for, they targeted for the kids. The internet rap, Netspin, the, like I said, the Yeats, the non-vicious's of the world. Then you got regional street rap, experimental rap. There's rage, there's drill. And these are scenes that barely interact with one another. Like they don't interact at all, neither do they fans half the time. You feel me? Like the main person that was really going to bridge the gap was XXXTentacion. He was able to do everything. He was doing boom bap. He was doing, you feel me, the rage shit. He was doing the regular. He could do everything. You feel me? He was a good artist.
Definite soul goals for the president. Bleed red for the government tease. Love is not kisses, hugs, sharing fucking drugs. Pictures on your birthday, pictures of making love. It's dedication, trust and patience and compromise. Not do or die. Ultimatums for you and I feel the vibe.
Ox fan can say it's an underground rap. Our Rome Streets fan can say the exact same thing. And so can Rocky Bad or a Stunner Girl. And all of them are telling the truth. They're just talking about different worlds. So obviously at this point there is not just one underground. There's probably like 15 different undergrounds. And the reason for this is simple. It's more rappers than ever before. It's just as many rappers as they are cashiers in this country. The thing is, mainstream media and just traditional media and radio only have so much room. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there's only about like 20 continuously active mainstream rappers. Women and men. It's only about 20 of them. Everybody else low-key is underground, or everybody else is like a legend. You feel me? Smaller artists are realizing like ain't no point in trying to compete for like the top spot. Like I just gotta create my own world. That's enough. The thing is, social media made all of those smaller worlds sustainable. Like when I look at Philly right now, for example, it's the same thing going on that I grew up with, just with different technology. The passion and the love for hip hop and just the overall phenomenon of creating underground rap music has not changed. And there are still so many artists that feel like real enormous aside of like your city. Like for example, there's a lot of artists that's here that wherever you are, if you're not in Philly or even in the East Coast, you don't even know who these people are. Let's say you are in the East Coast, but you don't know half the people that's like popping with like backing and teams and that is, you know, hot like in their own way. From Philly, like niggas don't know who they are most of the time. Like
love for breeding the 5.56 and Southern them Rockets. Too many times I had to think about bad decisions before I pop it. Is that your kid slime? Is you gonna ride for him? Is that your shooter, baby? Is you gonna die for him? Bust that cannon, do your time and go on the line for him. Never that little nigga shooting his cannon, trying to live his rhymes again. He jump outside and press that line, but he get fried again. They got 30, I mean 50, I mean times a 10. He got broke, then went outside, he pitching them dimes again. Remember that time that you got hit up, spitting them rhymes again. I need you to shoot on target, trophy get sent to who trying the hardest. Need you to shoot on target, trophy get sent to who trying the hardest.
Easy, I started from the basement. I was showing love, but other bitches started hating. Could've got money with me, but you started faking. Bitches must be fried like extra crispy fucking bacon. I put on for my city, never hated. Always got my own money, never had to take shit. I put on for the girls, I can't.
My life began tricky, situations be sticky. I was grinding in designer, she like me more in my dicky. I could reunite the G's in the city, but I ain't 50. That's cause everybody gangsters until they start getting iffy. You ain't never see a killer drilling in no Louis V. All black diamond year on, I look like Huey P. I done really been through everything, what they gon' do to me? Me only baby, ain't it crazy what he grew to be? I up the school.
Yeah, before I go back outside, put my daughter to bed. I ain't stopping at no light, I don't care if it's red. Niggas try boxing me out because they was scared. Now, are better. Y'all never shells knocked the H off your Hellstar sweater. Random, you remember me?
I'm going through my trials, all this shit just add to my issue. I always wanted my grandma to tell me she proud, but now it's too late and I miss you. This shit was never about money, I'm staying official. You need me, I'm staying here with you. Bitches are being your business to play it against you. Just watch what you say when you venting. Dropped on my knees, I started to pray and repent, and I'm straying away from the mission. I never needed no pity, I come from the gritty, I never start playing the victim. Down home, he about to start dropping these gems, so make sure you paying it.
But it's the same thing wherever you from, you feel me? Like I might not know what y'all got going on and I don't know, wherever, because everybody got their own little worlds and ecosystems and shit these days. And now it's like the geography not separating us no more. We can easily learn, but the algorithms are. So like, if this person from LA is putting all this time and effort into being pushed and stuff, people from LA the only ones seeing it. And the same thing with Philly. All these rappers paying for whatever to get pushed, and like only people in Philly seeing it. You feel me? So it's everyone got that same phenomenon going on, unfortunately, due to the algorithms. Think about something. You got 16-year-olds and like 25-year-olds and 40-year-olds. All loving underground rap music. They all listening to different artists, and they all don't even know who other artists is that they listen to, but it's all still underground rap. It's completely different from an era where everybody just used to watch 106 and Park. And 106 and Park, and because that was like a main platform for hip hop, millions of people, we're all watching the same episode together at the same time, at all ages. Like, the sad thing is that we don't consume the culture together no more. So like, I hope this video helps kind of like bridge the gap of understanding like what's really going on out here. Because I personally listen to all types of underground rap. You feel me? I'm a fan of everything. I don't love everything. Like, I love a lot of shit more than others or whatever. But I'm a fan of everything, and I understand what's going on and why people do the things that they do, whether I respect it or not. Like, because we don't consume the same culture anymore, it's like, your Instagram is not my Instagram, and vice versa. Your YouTube homepage is not my YouTube homepage. Your Spotify recommendations are not mine. The culture is so broken up. And your favorite rapper can have millions of views, but never gets exposed to me. And same with me. Like, everybody I love might get millions of views, and you don't know who none of these people are. You only know who these people are and these people are. But I understand it's a lot of motherfuckers out here to keep up with. Like, with this music shit. Like, it be like new hot niggas popping up like every day, and I be like, dang. And sometimes I be feeling the type of way. I'm like, dang, why I don't know who this is? Or it's like, why I know the name, but I don't know the face, and I know the face, and I don't know the name. Like, you feel me? It be like, oh shit. Like, I know, because it be a lot of niggas I be knowing their names, and I'll see their names somewhere before or hear a song from them. But like, I don't, you feel me? I don't be keeping it in mind, so I like see their face, and then I'm like, oh, this so-and-so. It be so many people. It's so many motherfucking people. I be good with remembering people though. And that's when I started wondering, like, if everybody got their own mainstream that's catered and just fed and created just for them, everybody got their own version of what they believe is popular, then what is the real mainstream? You feel me? Like, if you already watched my videos on this channel, you'll understand, like, often I might ask, like, if y'all can help me gauge someone's popularity in the comments, because I'm not about to go off of their Instagram followers or their amount of listeners and shit. Like, I'm going off of real life. Like, do you know this person exists? You feel me? Have you heard their music before? So, because a lot of times, like, because I listen to the underground artists that I listen to, a lot of people that I know and around me aren't listening to those same artists. Or if they are, they're not listening to them as much as I'm listening to them. So they might not be aware of certain things. So, and like myself, like, I'm not aware of their popularity because I don't have the best way to properly gauge it, because I'm the only one that I really know that's listening to who I'm listening to. I can only go based off of the shit that I see people talk about on the internet. You feel me? So it is very hard to gauge how popular certain people are, because of just all the different worlds that people are in. You feel me? Like, for example, if I go to one rapper Instagram, right? Let's say I go to like a Philly rapper Instagram page, and I'll see that we have like 300 mutual followers. Let's say I don't know who this person is for that reason. Let's say I don't know their Philly rapper profile. Somehow I can't tell, right? Let's just say let's just say that, right? And I just go based off of our mutual followers or the people that I follow that also follow this person, then I can tell, like, oh, all right, these are my Philly people. They know who this nigga is. He a Philly rapper. And they not the same people that's gonna be following the boom bap rapper. I'll have a different set of 300 mutual followers that are following this boom bap rapper. Then I'll have another 300 people that's following like this rage type pop artist or whatever the fuck. Then I'll, like, you feel me? So on and so forth. So I know everybody got their own worlds and their own audiences or whatever, but it's hard to truly gauge someone's popularity because people only be popular to people that they're kind of like-minded to. I obviously mainstream rappers still exist. There are rappers with enormous records, enormous label deals. They have massive tours and global recognition. There's a lot of rappers that still are doing massive tours in terms of like stadium tours and have global recognition. I'm not saying that the popularity for them disappeared. I'm just stating that it has become severely fragmented, to say the least. That shared popularity has become very fragmented. One of the last waves of a mainstream artist happened with Mixtapes, Lotto, and Pooh Shiesty. Now, you might not agree with me, but that's not the point. It's really becoming harder for one artist to occupy everyone's attention. And at this point, that's definitely changing what success looks like in the music industry. But the thing is, that artist does not need everyone anymore. They just need their people. You feel me? They need their select people to show love when they do whatever they do. And I really feel like people overlook that when they judge the success of an artist based on just strictly radio and Billboard. A rap artist can have a very small fan base, but if that artist has merchandise or vinyls or just any type of product or even a show, and their fans are always supporting, that's all you really need. That really gets you far. There's way more money in it than people realize. Let's say with their fans supporting them continuously, buying their merchandise, buying their vinyls, going to their shows, buying their tickets, and they do this for about 10 years, that's a legit career. You feel me? You can live off of that forever. If you was able to accomplish that successfully for 10 years straight, you could do that for the rest of your life. The thing is, the industry of the past was always obsessed with creating like the biggest audience possible for whoever they sign. Now, this new underground proves the value of creating the right audience for that artist. Audience is everything. That's going to make or break you. Do people like your music or not? You know? And ironically, major labels have adapted this mindset as well. And obviously, we see with the industry now, oftentimes most of the people that they sign, they'll be discovered through the label push. They already came to the label, came with a fan base. They already came with music that they had out. They already had their own type of hit. And when I say their own type of hit, it doesn't necessarily have to be on Billboard or radio, but whoever their audience is, their audience all knows and loves this particular song. You feel me? So shit started changing. So now the pipeline of how this shit goes has changed. Before it would be like you get your local artist, they put out a mixtape, some blog pushes, they sign to the label, and now they on the radio. And then once they get on the radio, they become a superstar. But now how it's looking is you got the artist, they on the internet, they getting exposure throughout the internet, and then through the internet they build their community. And through their community is supporting their music through streaming their music. And then they'll start doing shows and having merchandise. And then at that point in time, then maybe the label will come. You feel me? But you gotta do all of that. That's why people say, oh, it's not artist development anymore. There is. They definitely still select niggas and just give them everything and make them a hit, But those people that they do that with oftentimes aren't here to stay. But some of them are. It really just depends. But the majority of artists that's out here aren't going to have the ease of getting signed by a label or some type of company to push their music before they put in like 10,000 hours of work. You feel me? That's not really happening. The thing is, the label is not necessarily the destination anymore. Now, what is the destination is definitely some type of continuous money from their music career, but it coming from a label or a distribution deal or a management deal or publishing, it really just depends. The label is not the ultimate goal anymore, because people have heard so many negative things since the beginning of time of how they operate. So that's why I don't want to say it's dying, but it's becoming fragmented, to say the least. Now there's almost something ironic happening. Before, underground for the most part was described as something that we didn't all have easy access to. Now being underground, or even labeling it as being independent, is something all artists want to get next to. Because being underground or stating that you're independent when you do have some type of distribution deal, it implies authenticity. And that's something that the mainstream artists could never really truly showcase. That's why most of the mainstream artists are for the casual listener or a woman. And when I say that, because most women don't dive too deep into hip hop. They might think that they do, but the majority of women don't do that. And if you are a woman like myself that is a true hip-hop rap fan, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And having that authenticity as being a rap artist these days, it tells the fans simply that you found something that everybody else has not found. So it still gives you that hidden treasure feeling when you believe that your artist is underground or independent. And it's literally the same feeling that I had digging through DatPiff years ago, or even on SoundCloud. So at this point, we see the platforms have changed, but the feeling hasn't. And it's very important to keep the feelings the same, which is why, like I said, everyone is trying to say they're independent. Now, majority of the rap artists that exist are now kind of considered underground because they're not the top, they're not within the top 25 of mainstream people that exist. So the question is, did the underground win? Yes, it did. Underground has won. It has definitely won. Just not in the original way that you might think. Because the underground did not defeat the mainstream by becoming bigger than it. It won because the artist no longer has to become mainstream. They don't have to prove that they matter in that regard anymore. It don't matter if your mama and your grandmama and your daddy and your uncle and your cousins and all your friends and your whole neighborhood know who this person is. That don't matter. You could be the only person within like 50 people that know this artist exists. But as long as you truly support this artist, they're going to be good. When I say truly support them, I mean just listen to their music. You might go to a concert of theirs, I don't know, every 3 years or whatever, and you buy one t-shirt from them if they sell t-shirts or something, you know? And you always engage with them online, on Instagram, on Twitter, YouTube, wherever. That's all you really need. And I guess that's why we all can't agree on what the underground means anymore. At this point, it's like we're trying to use the old word of underground to describe the current music industry, and it's like we gotta understand what's going on. There isn't one underground. There is not one sound. There's obviously not one path to success anymore. When I was younger, being underground simply meant finding something that wasn't being played on the radio. Then it meant DatPiff or other mixtape websites. Then it meant blogs, YouTube, then SoundCloud. Now it's the algorithms. Every generation built another way outside of the typical gatekeeper scenario. Now, I'm not saying gatekeepers do not exist by any means, because they are definitely holding on, and there's new gatekeepers around with the algorithms and so on and so forth. That's a whole other conversation. The thing is, it's just the gate became a little less important. You know, so if you were, let's say you are from, let's just say you from New York City, right? Because we have social media now, and we have the internet and the world in our fingertips with our phones. If you was a New York City rapper, let's say you from Harlem, right? You gotta go through, before you for sure had to go through whoever the local gatekeepers are of Harlem to get on. You had to have them give you the stamp of approval, and then with some time and you putting in your work, and they can bring you to the labels and da-da-da-da-da. And the labels are all right there in New York, so it's a little, feel me? It's like, all right. But now, that same person doesn't have to go through getting approval of this person and this person in their area. They can just get approval from other niggas out of state online, because their online is having such a large reach to other cities, other states, other countries, that people that's not the gatekeepers of the typical gatekeepers that they would have to go through in that region, they don't have to go through them. They can go through other niggas. You feel me? So that's like the difference. Maybe the underground did not become mainstream. Maybe something a little stranger happened, we can say. The underground won because the mainstream stopped being the only place. And if everybody has their own mainstream now, what are these artists even underground from? Now, someone could argue it's always been with it. Yes, it has, but because we have the internet and we have social media set up how we have it set up these days, everybody is mainstream in their own worlds. I appreciate you watching this video. If you are still here to the end, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. If you want to hear more hip-hop commentary, definitely subscribe. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I appreciate your time. My name is Sana, so if you don't know, now you know.